All right. Well, hey, I really appreciate you taking some time with me today. I know you've had a busy schedule.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, absolutely. So, hey, every 6 seconds turns 25 this year. When you look back at that album now, what does it represent to you personally and creatively?
That's a good question. I think it represents the um, sort of national release of a version birth. That version of us, that sort of birthing process into that level of being signed to a major record label and you know playing in the big leagues, as we would have said, when we were in the garage back in the day. That was the moment we all dreamed of. Was um, I used to hear cats say all the time, I can't, when I get my record deal, that's when we'll make it. And when you get your record deal is when the starting gun happens. That's when it really, begins. So I think it was a good example of, the beginnings, the beginning birthing process of our career. And like they say, you've had your whole life to write that record. Now you got 6 weeks to write the next one.
Right. Man, no pressure, right? No pressure at all.
Right, no pressure.
For sure. Now, that record helped define the whole new era of hard rock and what they call new metal. Did you have any idea that, at that time when you were making the album, like songs like Click Click Boom and Your Disease would still resonate with fans decades later?
I think uh, we were one of those bands that treated every song like it was going to be the single. Um, and they all become your babies, and they're sort of like raising these little children, and you raise them up to be as good as they can possibly be, and then you throw them out into the world for them to sink or swim. And I think every song was that for us. Every song was a single. Every song uh, was our pick. That at least when we were working on it, we were really concentrated on making that song the best. Whether it was Click Click Boom, or Must Have Been Wrong, or Fault Line, or Always, or any of those songs, we gave each song its proper day in court. All five of us, contributing what we came there to do. Um, and but to see the success of a Click Click Boom, and Always, and the songs that have really resonated with people, it's just a blessing, man. I'm so grateful and so thankful to be a part of something that's helped you know heal people. It's helped people through some of the hardest times of their life, whether it be a heartbreak, or you know bad parents, or divorce,
Mm.
or abusive partners. I'm glad that we sort of touched people in a healthy, healing way.
Right. Oh, absolutely, for sure. Now, has your relationship changed at all with with those songs, especially now that you're performing them as a solo artist?
That's a great question. You know, I've been blessed with a really good band. My lead guitar player, there's no replacing, obviously, Wayne Sweeney, God rest his soul.
Right.
I adored Wayne, and Wayne adored me, and we were, the Toxic Twins, and we definitely had the fortunates of writing some great stuff together. And going back and rehearsing those songs with the band I've been blessed with, it's sort of like being transported back in a time capsule to that moment in time. It takes you right back to everything that was going on around you in 1997, or in 1998, or in 2001, or whatever the time frame may be, it transports you back to that time in your life and what exactly was going on in your life. Because I've always only been able to write about what's going on in my life right then.
Sure.
I, I've never been one of those artists that just pulls lyrics from some imaginary place. It's always been absolutely about what's going on around me. And it takes you back, it takes you right back to that place. And I think that's really interesting and fun and sweet and just adorable about these songs. I really am grateful for that.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
hopefully it'll be able to do that for other people.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh, again, history is the best memory maker, you know. It's like, you forget about a song, you hear it like, "Oh my God, I remember what I was doing back then." Oh yeah. And you get to do it every night. You know?
Absolutely.
Man, what a gift. So, you made um what made you decide to do this album every 6 seconds on this anniversary tour that you're doing now? And are you playing the album in its entirety?
Um, the, Again, great questions. The 25th anniversary is really sort of a important mile marker for us. It doesn't feel like 25 years. It feels like maybe 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago.
Right?
But since then, I've had three brand new children, and I've
Hmm.
been married for 20 years, and all these blessings have sort of happened, and tragedies. Losing my son Cody to COVID in uh, May 22nd of 2021 was just,
Hmm.
I can't even tell you how awful
Yeah.
that has been. But you know, you just try to do the best you can, and um, I think this tour will be a tribute to the 25 years that the Every 6 Seconds album has, like you said, resonated with people, and it'll be a celebration of that music. There's a song on the record called My Goodbyes that's really personal, and it talks about my son that I lost, and it talks about my father that I lost, the two men in my life that I loved the most. So we will probably not be doing that one,
Mhm.
but we're gonna play most of it, except for a couple.
Okay. Very cool. Very
Yeah.
good. Now, when you revisit this period, in your career, what memories stand out to you the most, whether it being in the studio or life on the road, hitting that big tour for the first time? Anything come to mind?
Um, you know, when we first signed our record deal, I still lived at home.
Mm.
I still lived at home with me and my mom there in East Memphis on Green Dolphin Street. I still had my bedroom at my mother's house. I didn't own a car. I didn't own my own home. So my mother told me one time, she said, things are never going to be the same now. And I was like, "Oh, mom, come on. It's going to be the same, We're not going to change or be different." And she couldn't have been more right. There's no school for learning how to handle what's coming, and we sort of, only speaking for myself,
Hmm.
we sort of hit, some great strides, but we hit some pitfalls too, because we were surrounded by things that we'd never gotten to be surrounded by. You know what I mean? And it's like somebody hands you the keys to 31 flavors, Baskin Robbins, and says, "Hey, eat all you want, you know, don't worry about anything. We got you. Just go have a blast." And that first bowl of ice cream is amazing.
All
And,
right.
and even the second bowl of ice cream is pretty damn good. But by the third bowl of ice cream, you start to get kind of nauseous, and then of course by the next one, it just becomes something that makes you sick. It turns on you. And I think that's exactly what happened to us. And we're no different. We didn't reinvent the wheel or anything. You can watch any behind the music, and see these things. As soon as they go to right up to when they're going to a commercial break, they say, "And they would never be the same."
That's right.
Uh, but yeah, we had all those stereotypical pitfalls: drugs, alcohol, girls, money,
Hmm.
contracts, lawyers, record labels, managers, all those things, And I think for me, like I said, only speaking for myself,
Mhm.
you have to have a pretty sober mind to deal with those things. And we were just hard at it, dude. We were just, going full blast through 2001 to about 2009. We were just four on the floor, just gas pedal to the ground, son.
Right.
And I'm definitely not saying I'm proud of it, but I'm not denying it either. It's something that I had to go through. It's something we had to go through as a five-way marriage, because it is a five-way marriage.
Right.
If I could pass on anything to bands that are up and coming, is you have to learn how to get along. You have to learn how to live with each other and not eat each other. You know what I mean? And I think that's why my first band, Blackbone, sort of imploded. Was we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know that you had to sort of compromise and communicate and do all these fundamentals that a lot of young bands miss, and we certainly missed them, and that's why Blackbone didn't work out. And I call Blackbone boot camp for Saliva. Uh,
Okay.
and you know, but like I said, nobody can ever prepare you for what is coming. I think if I could change anything about the music industry, I would change the fact that they should have some type of school or course that you mandatorily have to take to
Hmm.
learn how to deal with money and fame and uh, lawyers and the wording of these contracts. Like Cat Williams said one time, the wording of these contracts is just insane. Like, how are you supposed to know what to do when it says if you play throughout the universe on your contract? Like, I'm like, so if we play on Mars, they get a piece of it? Like, but you
Yeah.
know, it's a tricky business, man. And like I said, for speaking only for myself, you have to be really sober minded and sort of take that as it comes and take it head on. You got to take the bull by the horns.
Right. Absolutely. Now, did you happen to have like a favorite tour, like you and some other bands, like back in the day? You're like, man, this is the one that stands out, or anything come to mind?
Oh, certainly. Kiss and Aerosmith was my
Oh, yeah.
favorite. We heard that tour was going to happen. I think we were out with Disturbed or Nickelback, and they said, or maybe it was Seven Dust, and we heard, hey, Kiss and Aerosmith are going on tour together. They've never toured together since the '70s.
Mm.
Apparently, there was some kind of knife fight with two of their roadies, like
Wow.
an Aerosmith roadie and a Kiss roadie, got in this knife fight, and they swore that they would never tour together, and didn't.
Right.
Throughout the '70s and '80s, and '90s for that matter. But they said, Kiss and Aerosmith are going to tour together again, and they're looking for new up and coming bands that want to open the show. And we were like, well, can we put? I was like, we'll never get it, but can we throw our name in the hat? And they were like, sure. And we went back on the road, sort of putting our nose to the grindstone. And a few months later, our manager came to us and he goes, hey, I think it's sort of down to you guys and Billy Idol. And I was like, what? I was like, no way. And that they were like, yeah, it's come down to you and Billy Idol, and they're either gonna go with a retro tour with Billy
Mm.
Idol, or they're
Mhm.
going to go with a newer act, and it's going to be you guys. And I was like, you are freaking kidding me, dude. There's no
Wow.
way that's true. Um, and I'll never forget hearing that they were in some kind of boardroom or something talking about this, and they were really sort of debating whether it was going to be Billy Idol or Saliva. And Gene Simmons' kid came in and ran up to him and overheard them talking and said, "Oh, Dad, please pick Saliva. Please, please let it be Saliva." And I could kiss him on the mouth when I see him for
For
that,
sure.
because that was the most unforgettable, most emotional, just absolute peak of our careers, was
Mhm.
getting to spend every day and every night with our idols and watch Kiss get ready and put their makeup on and watch
Mm.
Aerosmith pull up and Steven Tyler get out of that limousine with a police escort. And it was just like, and every night playing on stage, they would come and watch us. Steven Tyler almost every night stood in the wings and watched every song we played. And
Wow.
I finally got the chance to ask him, uh, I said, man, I said, why do you come watch us every night? Little old Saliva, like, why would you do that? And he poked me in the chest. He said, because you're the fucking competition. That's why. And I was like, I was like,
What a
what do you say
compliment,
to?
man. What a compliment. That's
I
freaking
know. I was like,
awesome.
what do you say to that? I was like, I could never be your competition, but man, what a compliment for him to say that. And he was just the sweetest, most giving, most humble, grateful human being I've ever seen in my life. He had his daughters out there, and
Mm.
he was just so kind and considerate to us. He took us right under his wing. Um, just an absolute sweetheart. I got to hang with Gene and Paul a lot, and absolute same. They were just so giving and so kind to us, being a young up and coming band, and gave us advice. And I had food poisoning on the tour one time, and Peter Chris came and took care of me and made sure I was okay. And him and his wife took me into Kiss's dressing room and like put a cold towel on my head and laid me out on the couch. And when it
Wow.
came time for Kiss to go on stage, they're my heroes.
Sure.
So they literally walk by the couch, and I'm laying there with food poisoning with a rag on my head. And Gene Simmons leans down with his bass and he goes, "Hope you feel better, bro." And I'm like, oh, like speechless, bro,
Yeah.
just speechless. So that's an easy answer for me.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
sort of a
awesome,
long way
man.
round. I
That's
apologize,
okay. That's
but
awesome. I
but
love
I
stories,
really
man. I love hearing that stuff. So
loved that tour.
sure. Now, beyond the hits that you're going to be playing, are there any deep cuts that you've kind of gained a new appreciation for over the years?
Well, um, the songs that we never played with Saliva or didn't play a lot.
Hmm.
Maybe we touched on them one or two times, and they sort of just got ejected out of the set list because there was so many songs that we were trying to compile into an hour and a half or 2 hour show. Um, some of those deep cuts that you love so much get sort of lost in the shuffle. And like I said earlier, we treated every song like it was a single to us. Whether
Right.
the record company pushed it or not, it was always a single to us. So I think getting to play songs like Fault Line and uh, Must Have Been Wrong, uh, those songs are really special moments to me because I had experienced my first heartbreak back then. I'd
Right.
gotten hurt by a girl really bad for the first time, and I know what wrote those songs. So it's fun to get to revisit those emotions and that time frame in my life. And it's really fun to get to play the deep tracks that we never got to play.
Right. For sure. Now, you're going to be playing the Foundry here in Cleveland next weekend, believe it or not. Do
Yeah.
you have any memories of playing in Cleveland in years past?
Oh, absolutely, man. Uh, I have two friends that were in Blackbone with me, Trent Anderson, um, and this guy named Brian. We call him Cheese. He's the bass player of Blackbone. Um, they're both from Cleveland, so
No.
we definitely spent some time there. And I remember back in the mid to late '90s, all the cool punk bands and glam bands that came out of Cleveland, and it's just a cool town, and you guys got the boardwalk, and it was a cool place to play. Every time we played there, it was always fun. So I'm looking forward to getting to go back to Cleveland.
Awesome. Well, we're
Go back
happy
to
to.
Cleveland, Cleveland.
That's right, brother. Um, do you have any new up and coming projects that you would like to talk about?
Sure, yeah. We just released three new singles under the Josey Scott name. We have Famous and a song called Who, and we have a brand new single that just came out a couple of weeks ago called FAFO. Fuck around and find out.
That's
And
right.
it's crazy with what's going on in the world because
Hmm.
everything is FAFO now, and we're
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh my god, sort of crazy. But um, three brand new singles. I'm definitely interested in doing some more acting. My son Justice is an amazing actor as well, and you'll probably be seeing Justice Scott acting out there as well. And
Awesome.
I I've, I think I've always wanted to do a western. That's on my
Hmm.
bucket list is to do a western movie, and I just love the art of acting. It's sort of lends itself to songwriting. Like they say, musicians make better actors than actors make musicians. I don't know how true that is, but I definitely enjoy the craft of acting and sort of getting together with a lot of other people and contributing to making something beautiful. So I'm definitely into that. You know, uh, I've got some other projects that I can't really talk about, but
Okay.
I'm working on a book.
Oh, wow.
Just a lot of big things coming in 2026.
That's awesome, man. That is great. So when does your tour officially start? Or we have to be one of the early dates, right?
Yeah, we're leaving on the uh 17th, uh or I'm sorry, we're leaving on the 23rd
Okay.
on this tour.
Wow.
Um and we're going to be out there for a couple of weeks, and we can't wait, man. We're going to a lot of our favorite places, Cleveland being one of them.
That's awesome. All right, man. Well, hey, I wish you nothing but success on this coming tour and safe travels. And I'm going to be there next Saturday night at the Foundry in Cleveland. We'll be rocking out
Cool.
with you. We will pack the place for you.
Awesome, brother, man. We look forward to seeing you.
All right, man.
Thank you for all your cool questions too.
All right. I appreciate that. All right, Josie, you take care. I appreciate you.
All right, brother.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
you.
We'll see you.
See ya.